So you're thinking about diving into D&D,
That's awesome.
but you're looking at the starter kits,
Right.
and you don't know where to start.
It can be a little intimidating.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of options
There are
to choose from. Yeah.
Which one is right for you?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Which one is going to get you to the table the fastest?
today we're doing a deep dive into 2 of the popular starter kits for D&D.
Okay.
The Essentials kit
Okay.
and the D&D starter set Dragons of Stormwreck Isle.
All right.
And we're going to be using the product pages from Amazon to help guide our discussion.
Okay.
And also, we're going to be pulling in some information from a YouTube video from the Dungeon Dudes,
Awesome.
which has a really great visual overview of the Essentials kit.
Yeah, the Dungeon Dudes always have great production value.
Yeah, it really gives you a good sense of what you get inside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at these Amazon pages, like
Yeah.
the Essentials kit, it looks like it is just absolutely packed with stuff. They're really giving you the whole shebang.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks like a dragon's hoard of D&D goodness.
You get dice for multiple players. You get these decks of cards
That's right.
for conditions and magic items. And you even get a DM screen.
Even a DM screen.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little flimsy from what I hear.
You know, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
It's something to get you started.
When you're just starting out, I think that's...
Absolutely. Anything to kind of help keep your notes together.
Yeah.
Having that visual barrier is great. And it
Uh-huh.
just adds to the, the whole mystique of
Yeah.
being the DM.
It's really great to kind of have everything behind that screen.
Yeah, it's your little secret lair.
Yeah, like you've got all this secret information back there
Yeah, as the DM.
that the players don't know.
That's right.
And it kind of adds to the
Yeah, the fun.
mystery and the, just kind of the intrigue.
Exactly. And I think particularly for new DMs, it's nice to have something like that where you can kind of like hide behind a little bit.
It's a good security blanket.
Yeah, as you're figuring things out, you know?
Absolutely.
And you can like
yeah.
reference your notes and things like that without the players necessarily seeing.
Yeah, you don't want to be like flipping through and they see like, oh, there's a dragon on page.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to spoil the surprise.
You want to keep those things.
keep them guessing.
Keep on their toes.
But one of the things that really stood out to me too, looking at this Essentials kit,
yeah.
is all the digital content
Oh, yeah.
that's included.
Yeah, for sure.
You get a 50% discount on the player's handbook through D&D Beyond.
Which is huge.
I mean, that's amazing.
Like, that's a big deal.
That's, basically the rule book for D&D.
Yeah, that's your encyclopedia. That's your Bible right there.
So to have that discounted,
Yeah. That's huge.
for anyone getting into the game for the first time, that's amazing.
Especially with digital tools becoming more and more common. And,
Yeah.
they're great for just like organization and having things at your fingertips.
Yeah.
So that's a big bonus for sure.
It's like choosing between a handwritten scroll and a magic tablet.
Exactly.
Right? Like they both have their appeal.
Yeah, some people really love having the physical books.
Absolutely.
And flipping through those pages.
Yeah, there's something about that tactile experience.
Oh, absolutely.
But then some people are like, you know what?
I want it all on my tablet.
Yeah.
I want it all right
Just
in
give me the information I need.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and
just-
streamlined.
The digital tools can be really great for that.
Yeah.
It's definitely a matter of preference.
Yeah. So you've got kind of both sides of the coin there with the Essentials kit.
You get the best of both worlds in a way.
Yeah. And then one of the things that really stood out to me too was they have these sidekick cards
Okay.
that are included.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. And you can use those in a 2-player game where the DM is controlling the sidekick.
Interesting.
Or you can even use them for larger groups
Oh, cool.
as NPCs.
Okay.
And-
That's a cool idea.
Just kind of add that extra little flavor.
Yeah, and I think sidekicks can be a fun way to kind of add an additional element to the game.
Especially if you only have like 2 players.
Yeah, especially for smaller groups.
You just want to,
You want to flesh things out a little bit.
you want to
Add some
add a little more meat to the bones.
Exactly, yeah. Give them somebody to bounce off of.
Yeah.
So I think that's a cool addition.
But as the Dungeon Dudes mentioned in their video,
Yeah.
we can add some complexity.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you're a new DM
Yeah.
and you're already juggling
Especially if you're already kind of juggling
a lot of things.
5 different things at once.
Yeah. So it's like an added layer of...
It's like, okay, now I've got to run this sidekick as well.
Yeah.
On top of everything else, but I can see how it would be fun.
I think it's a really cool thing to have if you're a DM who's maybe a little bit more comfortable
A little more experience.
with the rules.
Yeah.
And maybe you're looking to
And
add
you spice things up.
a little more flavor to your game.
Yeah, a little extra challenge.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that being a cool option.
Yeah. I like that they included that.
Yeah, me too. It's a nice touch.
So we've talked about all this great stuff in the Essentials kit.
Yeah. But before we move on, let's talk about the adventure.
Talk about the adventure.
Because that's really what it's all about.
That's the heart of it.
What kind of story are you going to be telling?
That's what's going to bring you and your friends together.
And with the Essentials kit, you get the Dragon of Icespire Peak adventure.
Okay.
And this adventure, it's a little bit different than a traditional D&D adventure.
Oh, it takes a much more open world approach.
Oh, cool.
Which is really cool.
Like a sandbox, kind of?
It is like a sandbox.
Okay, cool.
So you're not just following a set path.
No.
You're kind of like free to explore.
There is a main story.
Okay. But you can kind of...
You can deviate from that.
Deviate as you see fit.
And there's like this bounty board.
Oh, cool.
Element to it.
I like that.
That I think is really cool.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like a video game.
Yeah.
Where you've got your town.
Yeah.
And you can go to the notice board and see what quests are available.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And it really emphasizes player agency.
Okay.
So the players are making the decisions about which quests they want to undertake.
They're shaping the narrative.
They are.
With their choices.
Which I think is really awesome.
That's a cool concept.
Especially if you have players that like to...
have a lot of control.
Yeah. They like to be the ones that are driving the story.
To be in the driver's seat.
And so what is this story about? Yeah, what's the premise of this Dragon of Icespire Peak?
Essentially, you have this young dragon.
Okay.
Who is wreaking havoc in the region.
Oh, no.
And it's up to the players.
To kind of a troublesome young dragon.
Figure out where its lair is.
Okay.
And ultimately stop it.
So classic hero's journey.
Classic hero's journey.
But with a D&D twist.
With a dragon.
With a dragon, exactly.
And along the way, they're going to be doing all sorts of classic D&D things.
Like what kind of stuff?
Exploring dungeons.
Okay.
Going into the wilderness.
Wilderness exploration.
Ancient ruins.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It does.
Classic D&D.
Really cool.
Yeah, awesome.
And one of the things that I think is great about this adventure, too, is that it uses milestone leveling.
Okay.
So
I've heard of that.
Instead of like tracking every single experience point,
right?
You kill 5 goblins, get 10 XP.
Yeah.
It's like you accomplish this goal,
right?
You level up.
Okay.
So it's much more like tied to the narrative.
I like that. Can be really helpful.
Yeah, I think that's good for new players.
Especially for new players and new DMs.
Yeah. Keeps things moving, keeps things simple.
Absolutely.
Don't have to worry about all the little details, the minutiae of experience points.
Just focus on the story.
Yeah.
And,
enjoy the adventure.
Yeah.
That's great.
Awesome.
So we've talked about the Essentials kit, which sounds really cool.
It's packed with a lot of
tons of stuff.
Really cool stuff. And it's got this
open world adventure.
The Contender.
Which I think is really interesting.
Right. Dragons of Stormwreck Isle.
We got to talk about the starter set.
Yes.
Dragons of Stormwreck Isle.
This is the classic.
The classic one.
The OG.
Yeah.
One that a lot of people got their start with.
Cut their teeth on.
Yeah.
And this one is a lot more streamlined in terms of what's included.
Right. You get the essentials.
You get the essentials.
You get the book. You get the dice.
You get the dice. You get the adventure.
The pre-generated characters.
And it's a little bit cheaper.
Okay. So it's a little bit more budget friendly.
Yeah, a little more budget friendly.
And it's more focused.
And the adventure itself is a lot more linear.
Okay.
Than the Essentials kit.
So it's a more traditional kind of straightforward adventure.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're on this path.
Got it.
Here's what's going to happen.
You're following the rails a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very much like a...
Which can be good for new players.
Choose your own adventure book.
Oh, I love those.
Like you get to the end of a chapter.
You make a choice.
And it's like, do you want to go left or right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And...
I used to love those books.
It's a lot like that.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a more structured experience.
Yeah.
Which I think can be really good for new players.
Yeah.
Especially. Absolutely.
Especially if you're a little bit intimidated by all the choices and the open-endedness of something like Icespire Peak.
Yeah.
So this kind of keeps you on track a little bit more.
It gives you that safety net.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So what's the story of this one?
You're shipwrecked.
Okay.
On a mysterious island.
Woo!
And there's all sorts of threats that you have to contend with.
All right.
And there's this ancient dragon war.
The dragons.
Always a good time.
The factors into the
always a good time with frags.
Story. And you have to kind of
unravel the mystery.
Unravel the mysteries of the island.
Okay.
Figure out what's going on.
Classic D&D.
And survive.
That's Sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Like a good classic adventure. I like it.
And one of the things that makes this
I'm
really
just going to say, what makes this one so great for new players?
easy to get into is that it includes these pre-generated character sheets.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to go through the character creation process.
Which can be a little daunting.
It can be.
Yeah.
Especially if you're brand new to D&D.
Absolutely.
You're just like,
there's so many options.
I don't even know what any of this means.
Yeah. And it's nice to just be able to jump right in, pick up a character sheet and say, okay, this is who I am.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
Let's play.
You're ready to play.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think that's a really great thing to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for new players.
It takes that initial hurdle away.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't have to spend an hour
worry about
figuring out your character.
Exactly.
There you go.
And you can just dive right into the action and
Just
start having fun.
Yeah, you're like, okay, this is my character. This is what they can do.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Kill some goblins.
Exactly.
So we've got two very different approaches here. To starting your D&D journey.
Yeah.
The Essentials Kit.
You know?
Tons of content, open world exploration.
Yeah.
And then the starter set.
More streamlined.
More guided experience.
Yeah.
Linear adventure.
So it really comes down to what kind of experience are you looking for?
What are you and your friends looking for?
Yeah.
What kind of game do you want to play?
Exactly.
That's the big question.
Yeah, and to help you answer that question, I think we need to take a closer look at the adventures themselves.
Let's do it.
You know, we've talked about kind of the overall structure.
Premise, but
what are the themes?
Yeah, what are the themes?
What are the gameplay styles?
What makes them unique?
Yeah.
What makes them tick?
What makes them different?
Yeah.
And how can we use that information to help us decide which one's going to be the best fit?
To help us choose?
For us.
Awesome. I think both of these adventures, Dragons of Stormwreck Isle and Dragon of Icespire Peak, even though they're structurally pretty different, they both offer a really good blend of those classic D&D elements that keep players coming back for more. So you've got exploration, whether you're, you know, navigating a treacherous dungeon or charting a course through uncharted wilderness.
They're going to be exploring.
And they've both got combat.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be rolling those dice.
Yeah, I got to roll those dice.
To battle all sorts of fantastical creatures.
Yeah.
And of course, there's puzzles.
Yeah.
You know, some might involve deciphering ancient riddles or disarming cunning traps.
And then you've got the social interaction.
Oh, yeah.
Which is such a big part of D&D.
Huge part.
Whether you're, you know, negotiating with a wily merchant.
Yeah.
Or
persuading.
Trying to convince a very grumpy goblin
to let you pass.
Let you pass.
Yeah.
You know, there's just so many
different ways.
To interact.
Interact
with the world.
Yeah, these adventures really hit all the core pillars of the game.
They really do.
Yeah.
I think they both do a great job of that.
But I think each one has its own kind of unique flavor. Right? Like Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, it's very much that classic.
It's very classic.
Mystery on a remote island kind of trope with hints of ancient dragon lore.
Lost civilizations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great if you're looking for that very traditional D&D experience. You know, something that feels very familiar and kind of evokes those classic fantasy stories that we all know and love.
Yeah. And even the pre-generated characters, I think, in the starter set really reinforce that. Totally. Like, you've got your noble knight.
You got
your stealthy rogue.
Your wise wizard.
Yeah.
It's very archetypal.
Yeah, very archetypal.
And it's a great way for new players to kind of step into those iconic roles.
And get a feel for, okay, what are the
different
classes and how do they play?
Yeah. So I think that's really cool.
Whereas Dragon of Icespire Peak, with its open world format, it's a lot more...
It's got more of a
frontier
town under threat.
Under threat vibe.
That vibe.
Yeah. It's a little bit more like a Western where you're kind of establishing yourself in this new untamed land.
Yeah. And the players get to be...
And you're the heroes.
The heroes of that town.
Yeah.
Right?
Protecting it from...
They're protecting it from bandits and monsters.
And dragons.
And they're helping to shape the fate.
Yeah, they're really becoming a part of that town's story.
They're not just passing through.
Exactly.
They're there.
Putting down roots.
Yeah, they're becoming part of the community.
Yeah. I love that.
Which I think is a really cool element.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So I think that's one of the key differences between the two adventures.
Yeah, one is very much like here's the story. Yeah. You're going to experience this story.
It's very directed experience.
Yeah, very directed. Yeah. Very focused.
It's like you're following a treasure map.
Step by step, leading you to the ultimate prize. Yeah. Whereas the other one is like, here's the world, go explore. Yeah. See what you find.
It's much more of a sandbox.
It's more sandboxy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that can also be a little overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Especially for new players. Yeah. It can be a lot to take in.
Yeah. You're just like...
If you're not used to...
I don't even know where to start.
That kind of freedom and flexibility, it can be a bit daunting. Yeah. So it's definitely something to consider when you're choosing between these kits. Yeah. You know, are you someone who likes to have a lot of structure?
Yeah. Do you want that guided experience? Yeah. Or do you want to be...
Or do you want to blaze your own trail? Yeah. You know?
Do you want to be the one that's...
Forge your own path.
Making the decision.
Exactly.
And I think that applies to the DM too.
Oh, absolutely. Right. The DM has to be comfortable with that level of freedom as well.
If you're a new DM.
Yeah, if you're a new DM.
You pick up this Essentials kit.
And you're like, oh my God.
And you're like,
what do I do with all this?
I'm already in over my head. Yeah. So.
It can be a little bit.
It can be a lot.
Much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
If you're a DM.
If you're a DM who's experienced.
Yeah. Maybe run a few games.
Yeah, you've got a couple campaigns under your belt.
And you're looking for a challenge.
Yeah.
Or you want something that's going to give you...
something different.
A little more creative freedom.
Yeah.
Then the Essentials kit might be a really good option.
It might be perfect.
Because it gives you that framework.
It gives you the bones.
Yeah.
But you can flesh it out however you want.
Yeah, you can really make it your own.
Make it your own.
Which I think is really cool.
That's where the magic happens.
So it's like you're given this box of Lego bricks. Yeah. And you can build whatever you want.
Build whatever you want.
Whereas the starter set is more like, here's a pre-designed Lego set.
Here's the instructions. Yeah. Here's what you're going to build.
Follow the instructions and you'll have...
And it's going to look great.
A great time.
Yeah.
So
it really comes down to what kind of experience you're looking for.
I think we've explored the contents of each kit.
Yeah.
We've delved into the adventures.
We've dug deep.
We've dug deep.
We have, but now...
Now it's decision time.
It's decision time.
Which one is right for you?
Which one is right for you?
That's the big question.
The big question.
The $1 million question.
So let's break it down.
All right, let's break it down and help you make that decision.
Help you make that decision.
Yeah.
So first and foremost,
all right,
who are the players?
Who are you playing with?
Are you a group of seasoned role players?
Yeah. Are you veterans?
Yeah.
Are you grizzled veterans
who have played a lot of games,
the tabletop,
and you're looking for something new and exciting?
Or are you brand new to this and you're like, I don't even know what a D20 is. Help me.
So if you're new to D&D, if you've never played a tabletop role-playing game before, the starter set is probably going to be...
It's probably the way to go.
Your best bet.
Because it is designed with beginners in mind.
Exactly.
It is.
It holds your hand.
Streamlined.
A little bit.
Easy to grasp.
It guides you through the process.
You get those pre-generated characters.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about character creation.
Worry about any of that.
Yeah.
And the adventure itself is linear.
Keeps things moving.
So it's going to keep the story moving at a good pace.
At a good clip.
And it's going to kind of guide you through all of the key elements.
The basics.
Of D&D gameplay. So it's a really great way to kind of...
To get your feet wet.
Yeah, get your feet wet.
Without feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, and learn the ropes.
Learn the ropes.
Before you kind of take off on your own.
Exactly.
But if you are a group of experienced role players...
Yeah.
Or just...
You really crave... that freedom and flexibility.
Yeah.
The Essentials kits.
Might be more your speed.
Might be a better fit.
Because
you've got that open world.
You've got that open world.
You've got all those options.
You can
really
all those options.
Oh, God.
You can really make it your own.
Make it your own.
And that's where I think...
And I think for experienced players, that can be really appealing. Yeah. Because you're not just...
You're not just following a set path.
Following someone else's story. Yeah. You're creating your own...
You're creating your own D&D experience.
Exactly.
And I think that
can be really rewarding.
Can be really rewarding.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to consider the Dungeon Master as well, because the Dungeon Master is the one who's...
The unsung hero.
Running the show.
Yeah, they're the ones that are doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
They're the ones who are putting in the work behind the scenes.
So if you are a new Dungeon Master...
Yes.
This is your first time BMing?
Your first time stepping behind the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say the starter set.
Probably a good place to start.
Probably the best place to start.
Yeah.
Because, again...
Because it's going to give you
it's very
linear, that support that you need as a new DM.
It has all the information.
Yeah. Everything is laid out for you that you need.
You don't have to...
improvise as much.
You don't have to come up with a bunch of stuff on your own.
Exactly.
It's all right there for you.
It's all there.
And so you can focus on learning the rules. Getting comfortable
running the game.
Yeah.
And developing your own style.
Developing your own DM style.
Yeah.
Without feeling overwhelmed.
Without feeling like you're drowning in options.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important.
But if you're a DM
who's done this before,
got some experience, and you are ready to...
You're ready for a challenge.
Embrace.
Yeah. You want something
open world.
A little more open-ended.
Adventure?
Yeah.
Then the Essentials kit might be right up your alley.
It might be perfect for you.
Because it gives you that framework.
It gives you the foundation.
Yeah.
But you can build on it however you see fit.
You can customize it.
You
can tailor it.
Tailor it.
To your players.
To your specific group.
You can really make it your own. Which is awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's where I think a lot of the fun comes in.
It's like you're being given a stage.
Yeah.
And a set of props.
Yeah.
But you get to write the script. Direct the actors. And create your own theatrical masterpiece.
A masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of D&D. It's all about collaboration between the DM.
The Essentials kit, which is like...
And the players.
A treasure chest overflowing with possibilities.
Yeah.
And then we've got the starter set.
Yeah.
Which is like this well-crafted map.
That guides you.
Guiding you to a specific destination.
They're
both fantastic.
They're both great.
Entry points.
Option.
Into the world of D&D.
For sure.
And they each offer a really unique...
path.
Path to adventure.
Absolutely.
So it really just comes down to...
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
What's
your play style?
What do you want to get out of this?
What do you want to get out of it?
Yeah.
Do you want freedom and flexibility?
Yeah.
Or do you want
a more...
Something a little more structured?
Guided approach. Do you like the challenge of building something from scratch? Or do you want something that's a little bit more...
A little more prepackaged. Yeah.
These are the questions you need to ask yourself.
These are the big questions.
As you embark on your D&D adventure. And to help you answer those questions, I think we need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
What are the long-term implications of choosing one kit over the other?
Yeah.
Will it affect your future D&D adventures?
Yeah. Is this like a one-time thing?
Yeah. Or is this gonna
have ripple effects?
Have an impact down the line?
What are the things we need to think about?
What else do we need to consider
before we make our final decision?
Exactly. So one thing to think about with the Essentials kit is that it comes with that 50% discount on the digital player's handbook.
Yes.
Which is a pretty significant resource for any D&D player, regardless of which adventure they start with.
Yeah.
So even if you go with the starter set initially, you might find yourself wanting to pick up that player's handbook.
You're probably going to need it eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
You're going to want it.
Especially as you start to explore.
Dive deeper.
More of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, as you delve deeper into D&D, you're going to discover that there's this whole world.
It's a whole world
of adventures and rule books.
It's like a rabbit hole.
And supplements.
Yeah.
Waiting to be explored.
So many options.
Yeah, and these starter kits.
Yeah.
They're really just the first step.
Yeah, it's like the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like opening the first page of an epic fantasy novel.
Yeah, you get a little taste.
You get a glimpse of the world and its characters.
But there's a whole universe out there.
But there's so much more to discover.
And the cool thing about D&D is that you're not just reading those stories.
You're not just a passive observer.
You
are creating them.
Creating.
You're an active participant, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you choose, the guided path of the starter set?
Yeah.
Or the open world of the Essentials kit?
Right.
You're
going on
this creative adventure that has no limits.
There are no limits.
Yeah.
It's all up to you.
And as you gain experience and confidence,
as you get more comfortable with the game,
you might even find yourself wanting to create your own adventures.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be inspired to craft your own world.
Yeah, to homebrew
your own characters,
your own stories,
campaigns.
Yeah. And that's the real magic of D&D.
It really is.
It's a game that sparks the imagination.
Yeah, absolutely.
And empowers you to become a storyteller.
Yeah, and I think anyone...
And anyone can do it.
Can do it.
Yeah.
Whether you're...
A seasoned gamer.
If you're 8 years old.
You're brand new.
Or 80 years old.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
There's a place for you at the D&D table.
There's a seat for you.
Yeah. So as you're weighing your options.
Yeah.
And getting ready to embark on your D&D journey.
Adventure.
Remember
this.
There is no right answer.
There's no right or wrong.
It's all about finding the path.
It's all about finding what works for you.
That's right for you.
And your group.
Yep.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Yeah, try different things.
Try different approaches.
Yeah.
See what works best.
You know,
D&D is a game.
D&D is all about
of infinite possibilities.
And fun.
And the only limit is your imagination.
Exploring and discovering.
So true.
Yeah.
Well said.
So we've unpacked 2 amazing starter kits.
We have.
For D&D 5e.
We've broken them down.
Each offering a unique pathway.
Yeah.
Into this
incredible world.
Incredible world.
Absolutely.
So whether you crave a guided experience.
Whether you want to. Forge your own path.
The freedom to forge your own path.
There's a D&D adventure.
There's a D&D adventure out there.
Out there waiting for you.
Waiting for you.
No matter which path you choose.
Yeah.
Remember to have fun.
Have fun.
Embrace the unexpected.
Yeah. And let your imagination soar.
So true.
So there you have it.
There you have it, folks.
We've deep dived into the D&D starter set.
Into the starter set.
And the essentials kit.
Hopefully
this gives you...
Giving you all the info you need.
All the information you need.
To make an informed decision. Yeah, and to choose.
To choose the right kit.
The perfect one for you. Hopefully you're feeling a little more confident.
You're feeling ready to take your first steps. Into the world of D&D.
Yeah. And if you enjoy these deep dives.
And if you want more.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
To
stay tuned. So you don't miss out.
As we delve into.
On any of our.
More uncharted territories of knowledge.
Future deep dives.
Until next time.
May
your adventures be epic.
May your dice rolls be ever in your favor.
And your stories be legendary.